Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Skeptic. Welcome to the Scares. Now, you might all be asking yourselves at home, what's in the bag? Well, it's a surprise for the end of the episode, so shh. Quiet, you. Today's feature is a special treat from Japan, which made such an infamous impact here in America, it even made men like Rob Zombie admit it's the most creepy and unsettling of any horror movie he's ever watched. Oh boy. Case and subject: Takashi Miike, a man behind numerous uncomfortable yet popular Japanese cinema masterpieces. His early work Audition showcases a wide range of human emotion, including love, abuse, trauma, and torture. Critics theorize that this is a commentary on either or both feminism and misogyny. But the biggest question posed here in this movie is, what happens when you audition for a wife? As we go forth, this is your one and only warning for spoilers. Let's begin. The story starts us off with a scene with our main character, Shigeharu Ayama, witnessing the passing of his wife Ryoko in a dramatic moment between two characters neither established nor giving us any reason to care for them yet. Bummer. And so a mere 7 years later, Papa Ayama is still single and working in the film industry. His son, Shigehiko, oh, that's cute, urges his dad to consider marrying again. Even he's keeping busy by bringing over a lady friend to look at dinosaur books. The pressure is on when he hears his assistant is soon to be wed, and for some reason stares at him for long periods of time. Hey, get the camera off of her. He decides he wants to find love once more, and so he confides in his friend and partner Yoshikawa, who comes up with the clever plan to put on a phony audition for a film role in disguise of seeking the perfect wife. So this might seem a little iffy on the subject of morality. It's kind of yeah. But the show must go on. We have a scene that divulges into a montage of kind of humor, like this one is too shy, that one is too career-focused, but then we get an actress who strips, and another who shows her suicide attempt scars. As people do. Not like Ayama is helping with his strange questions like, what kind of men do you like? What are your favorite kind of things? And would you work in the sex industry?
Audition 세력이잖아요. 아이다고 집사가 나왔대요.
No shit. But at the bottom of the list is a woman Ayama has had his eyes on since he read her resume. Once a ballerina who injured her hip, she's had to set aside her dreams and accept and move on from despair. This warms Ayama up to her almost immediately, and I'm guessing because of his admiration to her maturity at such a tender age of 24, plus her piano and ballet background probably reminds him of his wife. So when she's up to audition, we get this kind of ominous, intense angle nicely framed, and then we meet the lovely lady. Holy crap, this is a creepy motherfucker. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ayama, but whatever happens is on you, buddy. Even Yoshikawa finds her unnerving. Better yet, when he checks her references, it leads him to dead ends. Yeah, I'm just gonna flip that right up there. Yeah, okay. So you'll notice we're getting close to the 45-minute mark, and there really hasn't been any indication that this is a horror film. Then he gives her a call. I'm not like her, am I? Don't you disagree with me? Oh god, run, Ayama. She's got a mystery bag and a creepy-ass smile, and now the bag is roaring and her posture makes her look like Gollum. Run! So they meet up. Aoyama tells her the producer didn't like the story for the film and that it's cancelled, covering up the ruse, but they agree that they like each other. Funny too, we see she meets him dressed up in her usual white dress and blue plaid coat. On their second date, she arrives in a red coat, followed by red light. Color plays a big part in this movie, and we'll talk about that later. All you need to know is she's moving in for the kill. Oh god, literally. After only 2 dates, Aoyama feels so strongly about her, they go away to a hotel for the weekend. Which seems hasty, romantic maybe, but her staring out at the sea like some kind of ghost maiden isn't helping the situation. Yeah, she likes to keep her back turned either towards us, the audience, or to Ayama for most of the film. A very creepy, subtle detail that makes her feel more detached and therefore less human. What isn't subtle is when Aoyama suggests an attraction, she doesn't respond, she just hits the light and strips for him. Ah, right to the point! Mark that down as a qualification for the perfect woman. Right? Yeah? No? Okay.
私だけを愛してくれなきゃ嫌よ。でもあなただけは他の人と違うでしょ?
The next morning, he finds she's disappeared and can't seem to reach her. Yoshikawa gives his final warning that maybe this chick ain't such a great idea, but now he's on the hunt. He's gotta know what her deal is.
You see all these dead cats, Aoyama? This is what you get.
He investigates through her references. Yoshikawa had said earlier that they couldn't find Director Shibata, who was her boss at Ace Records, allegedly. So, onward. First checking out her old ballet school, where the film takes a major shift in tone. We get this intense sunset lighting practically burning the scene, but we also get a Dutch angle and a creepy man of Asami's past, Mr. Shibata. He laughs like a madman when discussing Asami and implies relations with her. And he's got feet-shaped leather boots that are actually his feet. Gross! Okay, so next is the Stonefish bar she worked at. Smudged in dirty walls and pink neon lights. The bar was closed down, according to a neighbor, because the owner was mutilated. The police even found extra body parts. 3 fingers, an extra ear, and a Joker teeth-inspired tongue.
So you say the director was missing, right?
Well, that was a terrifying journey, but now we get this disturbing fast-forward point-of-view shot breaking into Ayama's house. Later he comes home, pours a drink, and all seems fine until he starts reacting to his body growing paralyzed, making us, the audience, be just as surprised as him when he figures out that he's been drugged.
Now we get to the strangest part of the film, a crazy-ass dream sequence where stuff happens.
I seriously can't fully explain it. Once Aoyama hits the floor, he goes back to his first date with Asami, where they have a new conversation where she reveals her family history and experience with abuse, including confirmation Shimada liked burning little girls.
A unique scummy fetish.
Cut to them on their second date, where he sees his dead wife. He casually introduces his late wife to his new girlfriend.
Kinda like dream logic, so that flies.
But she looks to Asami and says no, she's not right.
Oh god, so much flies by.
We see Asami accept her abuse from Shibata, then decapitate him. But for realsies? She tries to blow Aoyama, but then turns into the other women in his life. I assume being a sign of sexual desire and guilt over his late wife. Maybe. He has a chat with his son, and the most memorable scene being the mystery in the bag. Oh, it's Director Shibata, broken and dismembered, acting like Asami's dog. So, it's like all the clues building up suddenly slam Aoyama in the face, literally, bonk. If there's something supernatural warning him, well, a little too late. Thanks, Ryoko. And then out comes Asami, dressed in industrial leather aprons, straps, gloves, canvas, and toolkit. She expresses that to understand who a person really is how they respond to pain.
Yeah, I think we get the point.
She takes out her tool of choice, a wire cutter, which she uses for dismembering.
足がなければどこにも行けないでしょ?
Yeah, maybe we could at least just hold each other.
She tells him he's paralyzed except for a cringy, expressive spastic hand, and that he can feel all pain. She then proceeds to use several long needles.
And no, I won't show you in fear of demonetization, but trust me, it can make a grown man shudder.
Ooh, and that catchphrase. It's also clear that she feels this way to express affection by sharing pain, like she belongs in Hellraiser, because trauma. And that she's also mad because 1, he lied about the audition, and 2, he doesn't love only her, referring of course to his son. So yeah, okay, completely psychotic and possessive. She even kills the dog.
Yeah, there was a dog earlier and he's cute and everything, but damn! Whatever sympathy you were trying to build up, it's gone now. I mean, to kill a kid, whatever, but a dog? You monster.
She succeeds in removing one of his feet with makeup that's all too convincing, and then Shigehiko comes home. This makes Aoyama possibly pass out temporarily to reimagine the getaway date with Asami and her accepting his proposal even though he never officially asked. Cut back to the present scene, he tries to warn his son, who narrowly escapes Asami's spray. And seriously, she chases him with a spray bottle. I'm sure it's mace or a paralyzing agent, but I can't help but think that it's an irritated mother trying to aggressively clean around her son.
You lazy boy, Mama's gonna clean you up real good.
He kicks her off the stairs and she breaks her neck. Aoyama and Asami stare at each other one last time as she slowly dies, saying she only wanted to be loved through a conversation they previously had, and the film ends with, that's life.
Can't argue that, I guess.
And then we get Persona-style music for the end credits.
Yay. Because we all need a little pick-me-up after that cringe fest. So how are we all doing after that screening? Outstanding. In conclusion, this is a fine example of building intensity from subtle clues to, well, torture horror, but still maintains a solid footing in exploring relationships as well as trauma and mental illness. And with all that said, it's no surprise to see another J-horror flick be slow. I mean, we really don't see anything horror-related for the first 45 minutes, and the movie never really sets the tone either. I mean, imagine if you thought this was some kind of quirky romantic movie, and you put it on for a date, and you got to the halfway point. Wouldn't you be surprised? Yes, which means it's time to analyze the scary bits. Here's the breakdown.
Emotionless. Except for the creepy smile when the phone rings or when she's torturing. She's much more reserved than other women, which gives a purpose in presenting the other auditions first, which was a smart idea. She's also bony and skinny to the point of anorexic, which equals unhealthy not only in body, but of mind. Her posture is limp like a creature, her vertebrae sticking out of her neck. She even wears white, which in Japan stands for purity or having to do with the spiritual realm. It's like she's hiding under a guise of said purity, so this is a classic sheep in wolf's clothing scenario. And she has a way of staring away from the camera and Ayama. Creepy back turns worked wonders in Blair Witch Project, and it's no exception here either. For a character like this, it's all the little things, both subtle and obvious, that makes for a memorable, creepy antagonist. And somehow, she looks more normal, more at ease in her torture getup.
I'll say it again, you're a dumbass for falling for that.
Speaking of not seeing the obvious clues, there were plenty. Ayama certainly gives meaning to the phrase.
今の親父は恋愛痴呆症だからな。
Some of these clues include her demeanor, as stated before, Yoshikawa not feeling right about her resume reaching dead ends one by one, her looking away, jumping to sex, requesting to be the only one that he loves, disappearing on him, and that's all from a character's point of view within their narrative, but from an audience point of view, we have... Storytelling in film is affected by numerous factors. The acting, the lighting, the writing, the camera angle, and sometimes how quickly we go from one shot to another. There were instances in this film where we see a quick cut of Ayama's wife in a dream, making it feel like a memory or at least a surreal and otherworldly encounter. When Ayama asks Asami a question on their first date, we have this long silence and a quick cut adding tension to the discomfort. And when they're on their getaway, she reaches out and we cut so quick to the lamp going out, it practically feels like a jump scare. Well-timed cuts like this can make simple actions feel intimidating. That's the beauty of editing. It's like directing the flow of music, changing the mood, and the tone the editing suggests adds to the clues of our character's ultimate fate. So yeah, dismembered man broken and Asami patting him like a dog. It's taking a horrifying situation, suggesting something innocent or whimsical, which ultimately makes it even more horrifying. Yeah, the irony and it's grotesque, but the real scare I propose is not knowing what's in the bag. Having it sit there still like Asami, and then sudden bursts of movement is so startling and unsettling, we don't need to know the exact contents. The movie can suggest the missing person could be in that bag, or maybe it's yet another lover we knew nothing about, implying there's no end to the acts she's committed. Or maybe the bag could have simply been a metaphor in her mind, which would make a lot more sense as to why Ayama could see it as well. While we're on that trail of thought, I still don't know what this was. Was it a hallucination? Was his dead wife trying to show him things via a supernatural vessel? Was it some kind of psychic link? Or is it some other phenomenon I'm unaware of in Japanese mythology? I got the impression it doesn't matter. The point is we have an amalgamation of abstract scenes that explores the minds of our characters, showing memories, desires, ghostly intervention, which, yes, his wife's inclusion as an apparition and omen adds a lot to the creepiness of the scene. This was certainly a unique way to explore Asami's warped view of what love is and how her acceptance of her trauma skewed her sense of affection and at the same time made her angry. Within a Lynchian-type narrative, we come to understand what we need to for the finale without needing to understand how the storytelling method works. So if the clues weren't obvious enough, how's getting straight answers in that good old creepypasta fashion, where you discover a life-threatening danger was right behind you the entire time? No one even says outright that Asami did anything wrong, but the suggestion that her school is closed down, her teacher has a strange relationship with her, her old bar is a crime scene, her old boss at the record company is missing, could all be a coincidence, or you could be intelligent and piece things together. This is a great method of storytelling to wallop not only the main character, but the audience as well. Like saying, yeah, if you haven't caught on, things are worse than you thought, and true horror can always surprise you. There is such a thing as a film color wheel, where each color represents mood, emotion, or an idea. Audition starts like any Japanese horror film. It's monochrome, muted, everyday, black and white and gray. Asami even wears a vivid white dress. But on the first date, when she thinks it's about a role, she wears blue, a color to mean calm. On the second date, she wears red, followed by red light, which indicates caution and intensity and passion. When Ayama learns her history from Shimada, there's an intense sunset red-orange lighting, like the setting is on fire, or like shining a light on the whole story. Then he sees pink neon dirty walls, which I think the neon is just to show the questionable environment she came from. Even in a flashback date and the torture scenes, we see a dim yellow light, which you could relate to the caution road sign. Even outside is green, meaning peace and health, like he's so close to safety. The dream sequences are often in blue, to suggest that they're in the spirit world, or something is otherworldly or even calm. Part of the brilliance of visual storytelling is understanding these nuanced color choices, which adds a layer of meaning on a subconscious level. So, torture scenes are disturbing and make you cringe, yada yada yada, even lazy horror films can pull that off. I mean, the foot effect is convincing, but do we really need to see it? I prefer this shot where she just tosses it aside. But it's with the context of Asami's sick mind that makes this all the worse. She believes she's doing this out of some kind of affection while also getting revenge. It's her possessiveness that feels uncomfortable and unsettling. Her outfit looks iconic and comfortable on her, like she's used this all too often. It matches her personality a little too well. Her tools are unique as well. Needles to pinpoint pain and a wire cutter that she uses almost playfully. God, does it look like she's enjoying herself. The truest she's ever been to herself throughout the entire film. The paralysis is a scary detail that adds to the helplessness, like being ensnared by a spider. Followed by a mere spastic gesture of his hand, which was effective in Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well. The gut punch is what she says. Even her slow death staring at him, I'm sure, will be the last nail to hammer into his mind for the rest of his life.
See you in your nightmares, bitch.
And that was Audition. The moral of the story here is don't fuck with women, especially if they're cray-cray. Now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your surprise? It's a rabbit, y'all. What'd y'all think it was? Something evil? Something wicked? His name is Cecil, and he's gonna appear in the next episode, so check it out. But for now, pleasant dreams.